Healthy Rebel Radio is sponsored by the Healthy Rebel app. 300 plus secretly healthy, delicious, mouth-watering dessert and treat recipes made with all-natural, whole food ingredients. Now available for download on the App Store and Google Play. Find out more details at healthyrebel.com.
Welcome to Healthy Rebel Radio. I'm your host, Dr. David Deiser. I'm here with my Damie Health Healthy Rebel co-founder, Amy Lane. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's get to the news. Back in the news, artificial sweeteners. This morning I was reading a big story from the Daily Beast, published about a bunch of new research and not only case studies but reviews of old research. And they put them together and they found out, not the Daily Beast, the researchers from Purdue, put together tons and tons of research and found that something we already knew, artificial sweeteners in diet soda cause weight gain, metabolic syndrome, diabetes, heart disease, all the similar stuff to high sugar drinks. But we're finding out what the mechanism might be. Artificial sweeteners, specifically the ones used in diet pops, interfere with your body's normal response to sugar. So they can actually cause your blood sugar to be out of whack, worse than high sugar drinks can do.
So we're talking about chemical artificial sweeteners?
Yes.
So like our classic aspartame.
Yes, sucralose, ACE-K.
So Splenda, Sweet and Low, all those things.
Yes, exactly. Those are the same ones used in Diet Coke. So it's scary. I mean, we still don't know. I mean, we know they're bad. We're being told by the American Beverage Association, which has a rebuttal to this, that there's tons and tons of research saying they're safe and all this stuff, but we're still finding all of these negative things. And it's not like people are getting leaner who are drinking diet pops and drinks and things. So, I mean, it's false advertising. Yeah,
and what concerns me is the things I have read about people consuming high amounts of, I think it was aspartame in, Diet Coke, and then their bodies simulating other terrible diseases. And then once the Diet Coke was taken out of the diet for long periods of time, their bodies started to become healthy again.
Right.
So that scares me. It was I forget which diseases it was. These people thought they had, but there was their brain function changed.
Yeah.
There was things with their nervous system that had changed. We'll have to look into that.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because I've got a case study to read that's very similar to that.
Oh, okay.
It's about because we've been told for many years that, based on rat studies, you can have as much of these artificial sweeteners as you can possibly consume. The doses that could make you sick via the liver, digestive tract changes having effect on the whole body would be astronomical. So we've got case studies. The one I want to present right now is one of a woman who only drank diet pop from the age of 15 to 31. So she had 16 years of only diet pop. That's all, no water, nothing. She ended up getting QT syndrome, which is a heart syndrome, a heart condition. It leads to erratic heartbeats. So basically, her heart goes haywire. And she also was diagnosed with extremely low potassium levels. No history of heart problems in her family. No one in her family has QT syndrome. And then after starting to drink water and stopping the diet soda, 1 week later, it was gone. So just a classic example of...
Yeah, but that too is extreme. So people will say,
definitely.
I mean, there's a lot of people that just have, say, a can of Diet Coke a day and they're not living on Diet Coke.
True. That being said, I have seen people who do drink 2 liters a day like she was drinking.
Oh, no.
They drink other things as well.
Yeah, no, it's not uncommon. And we don't know what just a can does. I'm not trying to minimize that.
Sure.
But,
So on a scale, yeah, you're exactly right. 1 can could be doing something.
Well, we don't know. The scariest part is that you have to take everything with a grain of salt. And, it's really scary to understand that sometimes the research isn't there,
Mm-hmm.
and so people push the products, including, the government, because they don't have the firm answers that something is bad. And, if you want to look back in history, there's nothing bigger to that than asbestos,
Right.
in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go back, look at the ads. It was government funded. They would help you put it into your home. It was the it thing. It was put in every government building,
Yes.
used by the military and the Navy ships. And, it was, until it was proven that it was killing people, which is way more quiet than the promotion of it. That's what's scary. It's still, if you look back, look up the ads.
Yeah.
And you can find them online. You can find the information. You can see the government backing and the fighting and saying it's malarkey that there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's way louder. And now all these people are silently suffering, and none of those people are getting help.
No.
And there is no help. And there's no cure.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no assistance from the government unless you want to go through a great big lawsuit and you have to prove where you received whatever. And I mean, what's that going to do for your life?
Exactly.
You only have so many years left, and then you have to spend it fighting just to have your medical bills taken care of. It's disgusting. And on a smaller scale, go back and look at the ads for sugar by these companies. Go back and look at the ads for smoking.
Yeah.
Go back and look at the ads for everything until it was proven that it was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. And still, the positive of those products and the pushing of those products is much louder than the truth when it does even surface.
Definitely, with the money behind them.
Right.
It's crazy.
So, I mean, we're not trying to take away anything that anybody enjoys, but we don't want anybody to die or be sick for no reason.
No.
So, you have to use your own level of common sense. If you don't believe it and you are at optimal health and you drink diet pop, then, cheers. Do what you want to do. But, for me, I don't think children should be drinking it. And I don't think anybody that's not feeling amazing, I think you should cut it out of your diet.
Agreed. I actually think that the word diet should be removed from it. Because nowadays we're associating the word diet with healthy. Because,
we've perversed the word. And I really disdain it because everybody has a diet. The collective sum of what you eat and drink is your diet. There's nothing.
That's how you define it, yeah.
That is what it is. So there's nothing wrong with it, but it's turned into this perverse thing that you can't even use the word now, and it drives me crazy and I use it all the time because it is.
Yes.
The collective sum of what you consume is your diet.
Yes. The way I see it now is people who are trying to be healthy, whether it's people who are already lean or people who are not lean and trying to be lean, they're using the word diet for how they eat.
I know.
And I think it's good.
Or people with diabetes, and that makes me sad too. They already have some things going on with their health, and then they'll go out and buy diet things because they know they can't consume the excess sugar, and they think
assuming
that's
it's healthy.
A healthy choice.
Right, and it's not.
And we don't know how bad it is yet, is what I really want to say.
Yes.
We know some of these studies and some of these things that are coming up, but we're fooling ourselves if we think we know the full ramifications of these things.
Oh, totally. And on that note, I'll read you a few more reports. One recent report in General Dentistry found that heavy consumption of diet soft drinks can erode teeth as much as crystal meth or crack cocaine. Very similar.
Great.
In a 2012 study, they found that drinking a diet soda every day increases the risk for strokes, heart disease, and is associated with other unhealthy behaviors. So basically it leads to other unhealthy things, like maybe you have chips with your diet pop. That's sort of how you do it.
Well, a lot of the time, what they're saying is people, subconsciously or subconsciously think, I'm having the diet pop.
Oh, now I can
have this because I had
yeah.
this. And then you'll go and have a treat or, it gives you a false sense of doing something healthy.
And your blood sugar regulation has been completely thrown off by the diet pop, and now you're going to have something that may have sugar in it, and you're going to have a different response, is what they're saying. We don't know exactly what, but the response is going to be altered.
Yeah.
There's one more, and it's a 2010 study showed a link between women who drank diet soda while pregnant and the risk of preterm delivery. Yeah, so I mean, the information is out there.
Right, but it's really horrible that everybody has to become a researcher.
Well, I know. Well, that's why we're doing this, and I think that we have to spread this stuff because you're right. It's not getting the promotion that it needs because it's not.
No, because nobody... It's just the truth. These companies and the government spend millions and billions of dollars on promoting the good of things. Mm-hmm. You know, with celebrity endorsements and all the different advertising techniques that take place. And then when something negative happens, you know, I think they have a mandate to put out some sort of press release, but it never gets the, mm-hmm. you know, it's really sad. And it's like, we don't want to be blowing negative things out all the time. We want to be blowing, take charge of your health.
Yes, exactly.
So if something has a red flag, perhaps it's also something you don't need to consume. That's what drives me crazy. They've made it in society like, oh, well, what am I going to do? You're just not going to have it. It didn't even exist so many years ago. You know, it's something that doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to take out of your diet at first, but once you do, you don't miss it.
No.
And it doesn't sneak into your life. When would a artificial sweetener ever sneak into our life? Like, mm-hmm. You just get rid of it. Yeah. This
thing, you're a very good quitter.
I am a very good quitter.
You're a very, very good quitter. Not everyone is as good as a quitter as you are.
Right, but everybody has to cultivate a deep respect for their body. Mm-hmm. And once you cultivate and think, you know, like, I'm a queen or I'm a king and this is my container and I'm going to respect it, mm-hmm. I think it's easier.
Yeah, I would
like,
agree
you're
with
in
that.
charge.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
sure.
And it's like appreciating what you have and that you want to make the most of it and that you deserve to feel awesome. Mm-hmm. You deserve to glow. You deserve to feel energetic. You deserve to move without, you know, restriction. You deserve all that. Mm-hmm. And it's attainable.
Definitely. And this sort of speaks to the advertising conversation we had a while back about how, you know, the ability to put diet in front of something. Well, mm-hmm. we were saying about we don't get to choose what we see in terms of advertising.
No.
So we're just constantly thinking that things are healthy or things are this or
but
things
this
are that.
Comes full circle to what I said a few episodes ago about casting your vote and owning your power. Mm-hmm. You know, we feel powerless. We feel hopeless. If you stop spending money on things you believe are bad for humans, that company will eventually go away. Mm-hmm. It's your vote.
Exactly.
You stop paying attention to it. You stop buying into the ads. You stop giving them your money because mm-hmm. that's what you're doing. And every time you purchase something, you're saying, oh, I want more of this in the world. I think this is a good idea. Give me more of this. Take your money out of that. Yeah. Start spending your money on things that you believe in and that you think are healthy for yourself and your family and the future generations. Mm-hmm. And you'll see the change. You'll be part of the change. And you can go to bed at night knowing, you know, even if you had a crazy day where you didn't feel like you didn't accomplish anything, you still did.
Yeah.
Because you were true to your belief system and you're true to the world and you're casting your vote and you're owning your power. We all have power and we don't realize it.
Oh, exactly.
You know?
That's a really good point. Mm-hmm.
One example where we've had collective power to do something good, which I think could apply to all of these things as well, is on social media. Mm-hmm. And a good example that I wanted to bring up was about the ice bucket challenge. Do you remember when this went crazy?
Yeah.
Well, we talked a few episodes ago about the progression they made in reducing and slowing the symptoms of ALS in mice. Mm. And, you know, they were able to delay the onset of, you know, the more progressive symptoms. And it's a huge breakthrough because we have nothing for Lou Gehrig's. Absolutely nothing. Well, the research team, led by a man I was reading about this morning, made this discovery with $300,000 that was raised through the Ice Bucket Challenge.
No way.
Yeah, it's the first thing to come from it. So his research would have never got funded because it's quite radical. And it wasn't supported by industry, and it wasn't supported by, I don't think it was supported by a school. It was Ice Bucket Challenge money. Yeah, so that's an example of how social media can really push something forward if people get behind it. And we've seen people get behind, you know, the banning of artificial sweeteners, but it hasn't been powerful enough yet. So there is a way collectively for us to move forward. And I think the generation below us, which we've discussed multiple times now, they're the people who are doing it.
I know. They're so impressive.
They're so impressive. They made the Ice Bucket Challenge what it was. You know, we always have reservations about raising money for research because of the pharmaceutical companies that get their hands in it.
Well, that and animal testing. I have a real torn soul about that.
Definitely. It's hard on the...
I really do. So I personally didn't. I didn't participate in it because I looked into it and I just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do. I don't, I understand that,
I agree.
I don't
know.
know.
It's such a challenge to wrap your head around.
Yeah, I haven't formed a full opinion about it yet. I'm still working through it, so I'll get back to you. But.
Well, there is some new stuff coming up. I mean, where was it the other day? I was reading about how animal studies were being reduced at all these different schools and different animals were being taken out of the system, and I think that's amazing. I think that we need to do more of that. And the reason it's being done is because we're finding safer ways to test on humans. So this is all going to be happening in the next few years, but I mean, we're just getting better ideas about how to work with physiology and to not have harm in our trials and things like that. So I hope that animal research can one day stop.
Me too. Definitely.
But some good stuff came from that ice bucket challenge so far. So I mean, hopefully we can see more of that. On a healthy note for animals, scientists have one scientific group expanded the lifespan of a group of mice by 35%. What do you think of that? How do you feel about anti-aging research?
I don't like it. I don't even like the term anti-aging. I use it sometimes as just to compete with advertising so that people will click on it and then hear some rationality. I mean, it's like society. Like, first of all, we're blessed to age. The opposite of aging is dying. There's no such thing as anti-aging.
Right.
And we're treating, especially women, like it's shameful to do the natural process of aging. It should be celebrated and it should be honored. And you should be grateful.
Right.
All that being said, I wouldn't use the term anti-aging, but there are things to, not age at a rapid pace. There are things you can do to stay vital and young and youthful.
Yeah, lifestyle-wise.
But it shouldn't be like a anti-aging. Like it just should not be a thought process.
Okay, well, let's listen to the story then.
All right.
So we have these cells called senescent cells. Basically, as we age, we have cells that just stop functioning. Their place in society, amongst our cellular society, begins to fade, and they stop doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're called senescent cells, and it's a natural process of aging, like you're saying. Like, cells just stop doing their thing. It's a part of metabolism. As we slow down, we stop doing stuff, and the cells are doing the same. They're contributing to that. So, what these cells, they hang out. They're not cleared very well. So when they hang out, they have no function. They can easily turn into rogue cells because they're not doing anything. So what these researchers found a way. I think it was a drug. It was a drug that can clear the senescent cells really quickly.
Okay.
So basically, they got rid of these cells in these mice very quickly, and the mice lived 35% longer. And they were super healthy while they lived it. No heart disease.
So
they just felt better.
So what I'm visualizing is, like, the theory of, like, exfoliation. So if you...
Exactly.
Okay.
You know how exfoliation makes your skin look nice and young?
Well, and when you do exfoliate, you stimulate new cells to grow, and your cell turnover is faster again, and then you do not look as haggard.
The skin is a great example of this.
Aha!
So these cells are happening internally. And they hang out, and if we can clear them quicker... So that's why having a great immune system is really beneficial. We've talked about this in Alzheimer's multiple times. Since 2013, we've known, your immune system has a significant role in Alzheimer's. If your immune system's not clearing these cells, they hang out longer, and you can have a higher risk of developing Alzheimer's. But this is an anti-aging one. Very interesting.
So I wonder if it's going to be tied to anything like antioxidants in foods and...
Oh yeah, most likely. I mean, that's naturally the idea. I mean, we've talked about antioxidants for cardiovascular health and how they keep the cardiovascular tract extremely healthy. And the reason they're doing that is because they're clearing oxidants that cause damage. So this is the same thing, but for different cells. Yeah. Anyhow, very cool. It could bring the average lifespan of humans. This is a Mayo Clinic trial. If it could bring the average lifespan of humans from 78 to 100.
Well, there you have it.
Very, very interesting. Well, I think we covered a lot today. I mean, artificial sweeteners. back again. We got to do something.
I wish everyone would just avoid them.
But what about that? You need that sweetness.
Well, you can use a little bit of natural something. Also, I feel like the education is not out there that once you stop artificially adding sweetness to your life, like if you actually say take every artificial and real added sugar out of your life for like 3 weeks, once you sit down with a bowl of fruit,
smoothies start to become very sweet.
Like, I remember needing that extra sweetness. Now, in my life now, I can't even imagine.
It takes a commitment, though. It takes the ability to quit and then to start to develop that.
I know, but I feel like we act like that's a special talent when, like, your health isn't a special talent.
Speaking the truth.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like we kind of... I feel like a lot of companies try to make it sound hard so that you reach out and you pay for different things. I really do. It's not. It's a challenge. All things in life are a challenge. Let's be serious. And I feel like if you've lived a certain amount of time and you've accomplished anything in your life, you know that things that have a huge payoff are challenging at first. It's just the way life works. You put in a little bit of work and then you get a result.
Right.
It's not that big of a deal to cut sugar out for 3 weeks.
No.
It's hard. You may have a headache the first day. You may be a little tired. You may be a little cranky. Who cares if you have extended life and health and you feel vibrant and, come 3 weeks from now and you're not addicted to and dependent on any added anything. Who cares?
Everything's a choice, isn't it?
It's all a choice. And, like, you deserve it. Like, I just find it strange when, like, women give birth. Like, that's something to talk about.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, women are crazy. The things that they do. They raise children. They don't sleep for like years. Like, I swear my sister hasn't slept for 10 years.
Right.
Since she had children, okay? Quitting sugar is nothing compared to that stuff. That is superwoman hero stuff.
Right.
Quitting sugar is nothing compared to any of that.
There you go. There you go. I like it.
Just, it's the truth.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Superhuman, superwoman stuff.
Yes. Like, they can do anything.
Definitely. It's empowering. That's Healthy Rebel Radio. Thanks so much for listening. Episode 24, and have a great day.
See you.
Healthy Rebel Radio is presented by the online health and wellness center, DamieHealth.com. Since 2009, Amy Lane has successfully coached thousands of women through her signature program, the Bikini Body Program. Join today to work exclusively with Amy to unveil your greatest yet to be from the inside out. Go to DamieHealth.com for more information.
Thank you for listening to Healthy Rebel Radio. Please connect with us on our community pages on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, all at the handle @DamieHealth. For weekly recipes, articles, and all our episodes straight to your inbox, join our newsletter at DamieHealth.com. You can find all the links discussed in today's episode in the show notes. Thank you for joining us, and see you tomorrow.